I have to follow that. I mean, good grief. I thought I was going to set the tone, and obviously that did. But I'm going to do the best I can, okay? You know, actually this kind of ties into what that speaker said, because I'm going to talk about how we live in a society right now where us women are bombarded with so many different and conflicting messages that it really is hard to accept ourselves for who we are and how we look. Look at the media. Us women are told that you don't have to be beautiful, you literally have to live up to perfection. And we're told this is possible. If you buy the right foundation, use the right cleanser, rub in the right moisturizer, you too can look perfect just like those ads, right? But a lot of us, we don't even pay attention to them, do we? Actually, we do. Every day we see 2,000 different ads, and we don't necessarily pay attention to every one of them, but they surround us. They become part of our environment, and we do soak in those messages. 80% of women feel worse about themselves after seeing a beauty ad. 80%. But of course, those beauty ads are photoshopped to death, aren't they? Sometimes they'll go through 10, 20 rounds of retouching, and after, the models and celebrities, they don't even look like themselves. Weight is such an issue in our society. In the vast majority of print ads and on the catwalks, the models are so terribly thin, there's absolutely no way us average women can look like that unless we diet ourselves incessantly and get a little bit of help. Now, another problem is that the celebrities, so many of them are praised for their bigger cleavages and their bigger bottoms. In fact, the Brazilian butt lift is now 10,000 people a year getting that, and it's the most dangerous aesthetic surgery you can get. Over 300,000 women a year get breast augmentation just so they can look better. But which is it? Is it thin, curvy? It's hard to be both. Now, what if we have women that don't necessarily measure up to this? Look what we do. We splash them on the cover of tabloids, don't we? And they're ridiculed, they're laughed at, and they're considered less than because they're not meeting those expectations. Even after having a baby, women are told that the most important thing is to lose that baby weight. And so you see article after article about how this celebrity went on an extremely restrictive diet and this celebrity worked out for hours in the gym. But apparently that's okay, because after you have a baby, the most important thing is to get into shape, right? Age. I kind of hated how the previous speaker kept talking about age because I'm one of those over 50 women, and I'm here to tell you that as you age, you do feel like you're getting more marginalized in society. In our society, women lose worth as they age. Take a look at any mainstream women's magazine, and you will find products like this that promise to wipe away the years. Serums, masks, moisturizers, makeup. How many of those do you see for men? Men are allowed to grow old with dignity. In fact, we'll say men get more handsome as they age. They look so mature and distinguished. We women, we're described as old. Now, what happens when celebrities do age? Female celebrities don't get the roles that male celebrities do as they age, period. And we call them out. Google slideshows of aging celebrities, and you will see photos and headlines like this, calling out women who are literally aging. How dare they get wrinkles and crepey skin and those age spots? Oh my God, they should hide themselves in shame. Now, here's what makes me so sad. What makes me so sad is how early this all begins. 80 of 10-year-old girls have dieted in order to lose weight. 80%. 53% of 13-year-old girls have trouble with their body image. When they hit 17, that number goes up to almost 80%. Think about that. 80% of our teenage girls already have problems with their body image. Now, after teaching for 25 years, after reading so many articles, looking at so much research, and just being around my female students, I am here to tell you that women have lower self-esteem than men, period. And how can we not if we have to live up to perfection? Men have issues as well. Men get a lot of messages in the media, but they don't have to live up to perfection, something that's just impossible to achieve. Now, I'm a big believer that social media is making this so much worse. You know, we women really are the selfie queens, aren't we? But here's what we do. We do take after take after take of our best side, right? And then try filter after filter after filter until we get just that right picture to post. Now, the influencers on Instagram and YouTube, they tell us that, well, you don't need to do all of that. Just buy the products that are sponsoring us, and you can look that good too. In my sociology classes, I always show a movie called Killing Her Softly 4. It's by an excellent, excellent woman who has been researching the media and women for decades. Dr. Jean Kilbourne talks about how in the media, women are shown as sexualized and they're objectified to the point they're kind of like things, just to be used or just to be satisfying to others. Here's what I do. After I show this film, I have my students write a reaction paper. And the reaction papers are so interesting because a lot of my male students, they'll say, oh my gosh, I suddenly understand why my girlfriend will feel bad about herself even when I tell her she's beautiful, or why my mom still diets even at her age and is worried about what she looks like. But a lot of my female students talk about how they have these issues, that they don't feel good about themselves, that they feel like they're inadequate. A couple semesters ago, I had a class and every single woman in this particular class wrote about how they had body image issues. So many of them had developed eating disorders. Others talked about being bullied in high school because they didn't live up to where they should have. Every single woman, and these are actual excerpts. Now, I did something that I don't usually do. I'm very open with my students. And one day I said, okay guys, I'm gonna let you go 10 minutes early, and they were real upset about that. And I said, okay ladies, let's get together. And I gathered them together, and I said, first of all ladies, I want you to know that every single one of you talked about these issues in your papers. You're not alone. And they started to look at each other and couldn't believe that others were feeling the way they were feeling. Then I said this to them. I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. You are beautiful. You're beautiful on the outside, but you're even more beautiful on the inside. You have got kindness, character, values, intelligence. You are on the edge of just starting to make huge differences in the world. I said, you guys are so much more than what you see in the media. You're valuable, you're worthy. Some of the women started to cry, but here's what made me the saddest. What made me the saddest was a handful of them grabbed me outside my office, where they messaged me or emailed me, and they told me this: you're one of the first people to ever tell me how valuable I was. And that made me so sad. Reading these, even at the age of 53, makes me cringe inside, because I understand the pressures, because I still feel them myself. I think we all do. So the question is, how can we get past this idea of perfection, and how can we as women accept ourselves for who we are, how we look, and start to be confident in that. Here's what I think. Here's what I think. We are more than our looks. Ladies, most of us probably spend an hour doing our hair, putting on makeup, looking at our clothes, making sure everything looks right. I mean, we all tend to do that. But we're more than that. This is a shell. This is just something that's given to us so that our spirit can be alive. Correct? We have got so much inside us. We are interesting, dynamic women who have done so much already and still have so much to go. This is tough, but we have to let go of that idea of perfection. It's not going to happen. I'm here. I am here to tell you that no plastic surgery, no moisturizer, no makeup, no special serum is going to make you look perfect, because I have literally tried everything. It ain't going to happen. So we have to let go of the idea of perfection. And we have to focus on our accomplishments, on our cans. I think every woman should make a list of all their accomplishments and all they can do. And you'll be surprised when you start writing them out how much you have accomplished in your lives. I like to think, I got one posted in my office. Post it in your bathroom, on the mirror. Post it, on your dresser. Post it on your refrigerator. But remind yourself every day of all that you can do, of all that you are. Now, I think it's really empowering to set goals. I'm a big goal setter. I think that women right now, that we need to set just a couple of goals. Maybe it's saving a little bit more money. Maybe it's finishing a degree. Maybe it's taking a class. Maybe it's picking up a paintbrush for the first time. But set a goal and have steps to achieve it, because what that does, it empowers you, because you know you're on the journey towards something that's making you even more interesting. Now, this is a tough one for women. Accept mistakes. We women make mistakes all the time. Sometimes people in my classes, because I do have degrees in family studies, they assume that I was a perfect parent for my son, and they'll say that. And I'll say, oh my gosh, I could write all my mistakes on these walls and still have room and still need room to write more. Sometimes us women tend to keep saying, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Damn it, why did I make that decision? We have to stop doing that. We have to allow ourselves to make mistakes, and instead of ruminating on them, learn from them and move forward. Because guess what? Ladies, we are our own worst verbal abusers. Think about that. I would never, ever say to my beautiful mom, my beautiful sister, if I had a daughter, which I wish I did, I would never say to them what I say to myself in my own head. It's like we get this negative talk, and here's the thing, bads weigh more than goods. Bads weigh more than goods. If 5 people tell you, ladies, how awesome you look, and one person says something negative, guess what you'll remember? The negative. And then because we're ruminators, we start to think about it and think about it. And here's what actually happens. When you think about something enough, that reel-to-reel tape that I kind of picture from like the Andy Griffith show when Barney would interview people, that reel-to-reel is actually making neural pathways in your brain. And every time you repeat that negative self-talk, those pathways get stronger. So what we have to do is re-record over that. With positives, we have to consciously say, stop. Stop saying that. No, I'm not unworthy. No, I'm not fat. No, I'm not a bad person. Yes, I'm a good person. Yes, I'm beautiful. We have to reprogram our minds. And then this one. Now, before anybody asks, yes, I did this. Truly did this. Ladies, it is so refreshing to get naked in front of a full-length mirror. Be by yourself, you know, have a little drink if you want. Get naked in front of the mirror. And here's why. Usually when we do that, we criticize our bodies, right? We look at what's not so good. Here's what I think is important. Be kind. Look at your body and thank it. Sometimes I look at my body and think, oh my God, I'm getting this, you know, this postmenopausal mom-type bod, and then I teach all these gorgeous 17-year-olds, and I think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But then I thought to myself as I was looking at it, I thought, you know what? I had so much fun when I was a kid riding bikes with my sister and playing on the pogo stick and doing stilts that my grandpa built, and it got me through high school, it got me through college, it helped me earn degrees, it birthed a baby, it raised a family, it's taught for 25 years in 3 different colleges. This poor thing's been through a lot. And you know what? God bless it. Now I thank it and I'm kinder to it because this is what's allowed me to be all that I am on the inside. Accepting ourselves is tough. I'm still trying to do it. I think everybody still tries to do it to an extent. It's not a sprint. It's a journey. And sometimes we fall back a little bit and sometimes we go forward a little bit. But it is a tough thing to do. But here's the thing. As we start to accept ourselves and be better with ourselves, we start to realize that we have this light that shines inside of us. Sometimes us women don't let that light shine. Sometimes we're embarrassed to. Sometimes we think we're being selfish if we let that light out and say, hey, look at me, I'm amazing. Sometimes we think other people will bring us down if we try to do that. Ladies, flowers don't grow in the dark. Flowers grow in the sunlight. And when you have sunlight, what happens? It touches other people and makes them grow, right? Sometimes I think us women try to kind of hide some of who we are. Why? Open that door, open that window, and let that light that's inside of you, that's so unique to you, let it out. Let it shine. Here's what I'm going to do to help you on this journey to acceptance. I want to give you permission right now to let go of the quest for perfection. I give you permission to say I'm beautiful. I give you permission to say I'm amazing. I give you permission to say I am smart. I give you permission to let that light shine, to be proud of it, to walk with your head held up high, to look people in the eye. I give you permission to be that dynamic, beautiful, interesting, creative, intelligent woman I know we all are. And I guarantee you, as you let that light shine, it reflects back so much that makes you grow even more.